ChatGPT is magic. It's incredible what it can do. And I just had another one of these experiences where I think, wow, this could be an amazing product and startup. There's also dozens of videos popping up left and right, selling you the dream of getting rich with the top 10 ChatGPT businesses. Sure, AI and ChatGPT will influence your startup. That's a promise. All that said, and let me be frank here, this might be the worst time to do an AI startup. Yes, I really mean that. Be very careful and definitely watch this video before you do so. This is Raw Startup. I'm the founder of Vivino, the world's largest wine app and wine community with over 60 million users all over the world. I have 25 years of experience in building startups, and I've seen this pattern before. Be careful with building anything on a hype technology. This is not my first hype technology rodeo. Back when we built Vivino, there were also hype technologies like smartphones and image recognition. Feels like a long time ago. In this video, I'll talk about the risks of building an AI startup right now and what I think you should be doing with AI. With that, let's get started. Risk number one, you are building a feature, not a product. Yes, the phrase that any founder hates the most. This is not a product, it's a feature. And I'm afraid this is more relevant than ever before. We have this new super hype technology and everybody wants to build an AI startup. And please don't build another bloody AI writer that will be dead in a year from now. That's a promise. This will be a feature in Google Docs and Microsoft Word very, very soon. Some of these platforms like Notion already has it built in. This is literally now a feature, not a product. This is just an example. There are hundreds of tools being built right now that will simply be a feature in a bigger product a year from now. And that startup is dead. You have to build something more than just 2 prompts in ChatGPT. There's especially 2 things I would avoid building. Obvious missing features in the AI platforms. When I say AI platform, I refer to both large language models like ChatGPT, but it could also be Midjourney that makes generative AI images. These are brand new platforms that are developing as we speak. They're very far from being done. There will be missing features in these platforms, and the platforms know this, and they will build those features. Don't build a startup based on a missing feature in an AI platform. They will build it, and your startup is dead. Rather, build something they will not build. More about that in a second. Second thing I want to mention here are features that are obvious for the big suites. Don't build things that belong in Google Workspace, Microsoft Office, or even Adobe Creative Suite. An AI writer or image generator will be a part of these suites, and then it will be an uphill battle. Google and Microsoft are already implementing these features. And Adobe just released Adobe Firefly, and these guys are just getting started. Again, build something they won't build instead. We'll dig into that in a second. Risk number 2, a technology looking for a problem. This happens every time there's a new hype technology. We start looking for problems that we want to solve. We have a solution, let's see if we can find a problem. Having a technology and then look for a problem is not the way forward. You have a problem and then you build a solution. That's how it needs to be, not the other way around. Take the metaverse. It's still a technology looking for a problem, and Zuckerberg has spent at least $14 billion on finding that problem. He still hasn't found it. Crypto is also a technology looking for a problem. After billions and billions lost and invested, it has only found small problems that can actually solve. It's okay that people say your product is cool, but it's much better if people say, wow, I love your product. It really solves a problem. We have to focus on value, not hype. Hype is great in the short term, but in the long term, we need a product that solves a problem. Hype is not enough. One more example, the Segway. Remember the Segway? It sort of just stood there. It was total magic. This is going to be a transport revolution. And then it just fell flat. Sure, it's cool, but when is it actually better than a bicycle that we invented 200 years ago? Or maybe just a basic scooter? And were you really willing to pay $5,000 for something that does it a little bit better than a bicycle? That's a hard no. The Segway was another solution looking for a problem, and that just doesn't work. AI is not going to be like the Segway, but your product and your startup might just be. Don't get me wrong, AI is a major revolution. It will change our lives on all levels. Still, we will build a lot of useless products. Try and avoid that. Risk number 3, you are too early. We are in the early stages of these technologies. Sure, we've seen massive progress in the last year, but we're still in the early stages. In the early stage of technology, they're not quite mature yet. The tools aren't ready yet, but they will move fast in the right direction. Let's say you're building an app 10 years ago. I promise you that was very different than what it is today in building it in a modern tool like Flutter. And these things are especially true in the early stages of a technology. Imagine if you build this incredible tool for ChatGPT, spend 6 months on it, and then once you release it, they build the feature on their own. These things happen when you're in the early stage of a technology. Your time is wasted and your product isn't worth anything anymore. The other risk of being early is that there isn't much adoption. Say you build an app for the iPhone in 2008, there really weren't that many iPhones out there. With AI, I'm less sure about this because it will integrate on all kinds of levels. I'm not sure exactly where this quote came from, but it's really true about new technology. Pioneers get slaughtered and settlers prosper. It's better to be a little late than early. So be aware that we're in the early stages of these technologies. Something that's hard to build now might be easy to build months from now. That's how it goes when you have these new technologies. Risk number 4, regulation. People are afraid of AI. The fear ranges from AI taking our jobs to it's gonna kill us all. That's quite the spectrum. Killing us? Obviously not good. Taking our jobs is different. Usually when a computer takes our job, we become richer, not poorer. If you disagree with that, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. People are afraid, and when they're afraid, they start pushing for regulation. We've seen people call for a pause of AI, the AI pause movement. This was signed by a lot of thoughtful people and Elon Musk.
It has the potential of civilizational destruction.
Elon signed this and then he started building his own model. I don't believe in some kind of pause or stop of AI research. It's really hard to stop a technology moving forward. If there is a new technology, someone will move it forward, and if you stop or pause, you will just be left behind. What is more likely to happen are pieces of legislation. Banning certain things, requiring transparency on other things. This will also vary from country to country, making things even more complicated. Take self-driving cars. We obviously want some regulation in that field. But it also what could be holding us back when it comes to driving self-driving cars. These pieces of legislation will make it harder to do an AI startup. Before we get to what I think you should do, let's get the final risk in here. Risk number 5, competition. I love competition. It's great for the user and motivates everyone to do their best. However, sometimes when a new technology comes along, things go a little bit off the rails. The problem is that this new cool technology will attract a lot of people and a lot of money. Very often that money is not exactly smart money, it could be stupid money. The problem with stupid money is that it's hard to compete against, and sometimes this stupid money just keeps pouring in. Sure, the stupid money usually loses, but it doesn't mean you'll win, and your startup might die in the process. With any hype technology, the competition is massive. There's a lot of stupid money, and that just increases your risk. Before we get to what you should do, make sure you subscribe. A lot of good stuff here. Now let's have a look at what you should do. If you want to build an AI startup from scratch, that's one thing, we'll get to that. First and foremost, I will say use these AI tools in your startup. They are incredible and they can be used for all kinds of things, like writing content, data analysis, customer support, automation, research, even brainstorming, and many other things. You can save a lot of time and become a lot more efficient, so do use these tools. And I guarantee your competition will use them, so don't get left behind. Use the AI tools. Now, if you insist with all these risks and you want to build an AI startup right now, let's look at what you should do. Here's what I would do. I'd either go big or go niche. So what does that mean? Going big means doing something really ambitious. Build something that's clearly not a feature, something that changes the way we do things, something that's really ambitious, something that takes a long time to build, maybe months or even years to do well. Take these guys, Opus AI. They want to build games using a text prompt, so you can chat your way to building a real game. In this video, they're building an environment and then a character just by chatting with the tool. Pretty wild. I'm not saying this could never be a feature in a bigger tool, but these guys are ambitious. They're changing the way you build games. And it will take some time for others to catch up and build such an ambitious tool. OpenAI could get a head start and become a real player in the game building space. Very ambitious, I like it. So either you go big and build something very ambitious, or else you go niche. It's probably an easier and less risky way to go. You create a blue ocean for yourself where the big players probably won't go. The hard part here is to find a niche that's big enough. Here's a more general example from my world, not AI. Take Vivino's wine scanning ability. In all modesty, we are the best at this. Nobody does it better. Google does have this feature too. It can scan wine bottles. The problem is that it's bad, really bad. Vivino just does it much better. I don't think Vivino is a niche as such, but it's an example. You can find a specific category, fight there, and beat Google, beat the big guys. We can focus on a category and just build a better product, in this case, wine drinkers. Don't build a product for everyone, build it for a niche that's big enough. The trick here is to find an audience that's big enough. You never want to solve a big problem in a small market. So go niche or go big. That's my advice if you want to build an AI startup in these risky times. Remember, startups are all about timing, and sometimes you want to let the other guys fight a little bit, spill some blood, and then you get into the fight. If you want more content just like this, please consider pressing like and subscribe, and you won't miss any future videos. Thank you very much for watching Raw Startup. Now stop watching, go build something.